Ronda Rousey is going viral for some new comments, so we'll see what she had to say. We'll also see what's going on with Naomi's status and how a Bloodline-related story could come for her potential return. Let's start things off with the latest news involving Naomi's WWE status. If the past few months has shown us anything, it's the fact that no matter how bad your departure was from WWE, Triple H and company are willing to settle all issues and bring you back. We've now seen that with a countless amount of previously released superstars. Superstars who have publicly stated that they'll never return to WWE, or even returning to WWE. Any return is basically a possibility nowadays. And now that Bray Wyatt is back, the two biggest names that are still just floating in the air are Sasha Banks and Naomi. Ronda Rousey was recently talking about the women's Smackdown roster, and she listed Sasha and Naomi as current members of Smackdown. But as everyone knows, their status is still a big mystery. After it was reported during the summer that they'll be back in no time, all news has gone silent about the former tag team champions. However, there was some recent positive news, but only for one of them. Reports are now claiming that a new deal is allegedly being worked on between Naomi and WWE. No mentions at all about Sasha Banks, but they claim Naomi's deal is the one that's much closer to being done at the moment. So even if they can just get Naomi back, that's still huge. And this is all theories and ideas that fans have been talking about since the walkout happened. But maybe WWE can find a way to implement the walkout into Naomi's return story. Assuming that Sasha doesn't return, Naomi would be coming back by herself. So what could Naomi's story and direction be with her returning solo? Well, what if WWE decided to finally pull the trigger on the Bloodline and Naomi? Maybe within the storyline, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns have been working extremely hard behind the scenes to pull some strings and get Naomi back in WWE. Naomi has her husband, Jimmy Uso, in the Bloodline. So as a result of that marriage, she's obviously a part of Roman Reigns' family, and everyone knows just how far Roman is willing to go for his family. Even look at how he's treating Sami Zayn. Sami isn't a direct family member, but Roman has taken care of him in recent weeks. So Roman should most definitely care deeply about his cousin's wife. She's directly connected to the family. So the story could be that the Bloodline, WWE, and Naomi have been negotiating a deal to get her back this entire time. And once the deal is reached, Naomi could return right alongside the Bloodline and finally be introduced into the group. It'll just be another mind-blowing moment for the Bloodline to add yet again another huge new member. But Naomi brings in a breath of fresh air to the Bloodline because they've obviously never had a woman represented in the group before. So this could be the perfect chance to introduce a new ruthless side of Naomi under Roman's guidance that could go straight to the women's title scene on Smackdown. Roman's main claim that he's made to the Usos over the years is that he's made them get serious and reach new heights for their careers. He can literally do the same thing for Naomi. She was frustrated and felt disrespected earlier this year. Well, he's gonna get her into the SmackDown women's title scene, win the title, and bring it back to the Bloodline. It'll be a cool way to address the walkout and use it in a way to kick off Naomi's introduction and role inside of the Bloodline. So bringing Naomi back to WWE inside the Bloodline and into the title picture does sound like an exciting direction for her, but of course, her return is still a big mystery. Some fans think that Naomi does have a strong chance to return, especially if it's for a Bloodline-related story, because she'll be working right with her husband, and that would obviously be convenient for both of them. As far as the latest on Mercedes Varnado, Sasha Banks goes, there has been absolutely no new developments on her WWE status. The latest reports have only focused on WWE getting close to a deal with Naomi. So that'll be a situation to closely monitor as more news and reports are released. Ronda Rousey recently made some waves amongst the community with some comments that she made during some of her live streams and vlogs. One of the topics Ronda addressed was the name of the women's titles. She had this to say about how she wanted the word women to be removed from the women's division titles. Quote, "I don't want to say women in title anymore, and I just think they are kind of resistant to taking it out. So then I was like, can I just not have to say it? So then that's kind of where it's at," end quote. So according to Ronda, the next big step in pro wrestling women's revolution is to fully eliminate the word women's from the titles. WWE went through something similar just a few years ago in 2016. WWE was just on the verge of fully transforming the women's division, but the women's title was still named the Divas title. So everyone wondered why the title just couldn't be called the women's title like it used to be called back in the day. So WWE made the change and went back to calling it the women's title. But Ronda Rousey now thinks that even the word women's isn't needed, and she wants WWE to remove it. She admitted that WWE seems resistant to taking it out. So she herself is just not going to say it. So if you hear Ronda Rousey refer to herself as Smackdown champion, that's because she just doesn't want to use the word women's to be a part of the title's name. Another thing Ronda dived back into was the lack of non-title stories in the women's division. Ronda mentioned how the men's division has all these endless amount of non-title feuds. But when it comes to the women's division, there are none at all. Ronda mentioned how non-title feuds in the women's division would be great because it'll help the women to fully showcase and develop their characters to get the fans behind them before they actually make it to the title picture. And Ronda's completely right about that. The biggest non-title story the women's division had in recent memory was Naomi versus Sonya Deville. That story started off strong, but did flame out hard at the end with zero payoff coming from the story. But besides that, it's hard to think of a non-title feud in the women's division that matches the level of some of the men's non-title feuds. Like, look at Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, Edge versus Finn Balor, and Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Those are all huge and deep non-title feuds that still captivate the audience's attention and contains great story even without a title at stake. But then you go to the women's division. If you're not the champion or the #1 contender, you pretty much have zero story and feuds going on. That's a big problem. If there was some serious non-title feuds going on for the women's division, it'll be a great platform to showcase some of the newer characters to the audience. Let them get familiar with the new stars and build a connection with them. New superstars like Candice LeRae, put her into a serious non-title story, let her talk, and build a following for when she does find herself in the title picture. That's what Ronda Rousey was saying, and everyone can definitely agree with that because it'll lift up the women's division so much. So we'll see if WWE does bring back some non-title feuds inside of the women's division. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with Ronda Rousey, Naomi, and the Bloodline? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.